Today we're going to take a look at quadratic inequalities. The first type of problem we're going to take a look at is how to graph a quadratic inequality. All right, so in this first video, we're going to do a warm-up problem that we're going to come back to later on in a second video. So let's take a look at how do we graph this quadratic function. So the first thing we need is our vertex, and to do that, we're going to do x equals negative b over 2a, because this is in standard form. So b is negative 1, so double negative 1 on the top. And then a is also negative 1. So we get, let's see, positive 1 over negative 2 or negative 1/2. All right, so that's for our line of symmetry, or our axis of symmetry. Now I need to know the y value that goes with this. So I'm going to do y equals 12 minus negative 1/2 minus negative 1/2 squared. And that's going to give me 12 plus 1/2. And then take away 1/4. So that comes out to 12 1/4 approximately, actually precisely. So our vertex is the point, negative 1/2, and 12 1/4. And yes, it is okay to use mixed numbers instead of fractions here. Now, normally we would make a full table of values, but one thing we're going to do to shorten this process up a little bit is instead of using 5 points, we're going to shorten this down to using the vertex and one other pair of points. And what we're going to focus on is we're going to focus on x-intercepts. You'll find out more why later. So let's go ahead and find the x-intercepts of this function. So that happens when I do 0 equals. So if I do 0 equals 12 minus x squared, well, this can be solved by factoring. Okay. Factors of 12 that have a difference of negative 1 or that add to negative 1, I can do a 4 and a 3 and an x and an x. And let's see, I would want a minus here and a plus there because this will give me negative 4x and this will give me plus 3x and that'll give me the negative x. All right, now we're not used to factoring when it's not in standard form, so if you want to rearrange, factor out a negative, you'll eventually get to the same x-intercepts that I'm about to get to. If I do each of these factors equal to 0, I'm going to get x equals negative 4 from the first factor and positive 3 from the second factor. So that means if I go ahead and make a table of values with x and y, I'm going to have my vertex, negative 1/4. And 12, sorry, I'm going to fix that. That's negative 1/2, not negative 1/4. My sincerest apologies. There we go. And then I'm going to have x is negative 4. The y value will be 0 because it's an x-intercept. And then the reflection point is 3, also with a y value of 0. All right, so now we want to sketch our picture. And that is not a very straight line. Hold on. I should be able to do better than that. There we go. All right, and I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now I want to plot my points and draw my graph. So let's see, I've got a line of symmetry in the middle here. And then on that line of symmetry, I have a height of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and a little bit. So there's my vertex. X-intercept at negative 4. X-intercept at positive 3. Parabola opening down, which makes sense because the a value was in fact negative. And there is our graph. All right, so we'll come back to this graph a little bit later on to see how do we deal with it when it is an inequality instead. See you there.